try to cover it. I have copies over here. You have copies? No? Okay. So the Mishnah says as follows. If somebody warns his wife, he warns her that she shouldn't hang around with certain people. Rabbi Lezer says, there has to be witness present when he warns her. If she's suspected, if there's an Eid Echad that comes and says that I saw that she was hanging out privately with this person, so that's enough. Even if he suspects her, there's no Eidus at all. He suspects, being that he was Makana her, so there it's even for the making her drink the Mayim HaMoradim, for that he doesn't need any Eidus at all. Rabbi Yeshua says Makana her al Pishnayim, that he has to warn her in front of two people, Umashke al Pishnayim, and also he can't do it just on his own if he suspects her or says that he saw it, whatever it is. It has to be Eidus in order to make her drink the water. Now the Mishnah says that Ketzah Makanaga. What does he have to say to her? If he would say in front of two people, Alta Dabri im Ishpoini, I don't want you to speak to Reuven. And for Dibri Imoy, and she violated and she spoke to him, nevertheless, that's not kinu. Adayin hi muteres lebeisa, muteres lacha v'truma. She still remains with her family, and she's mutter to eat truma, if the husband was a kohen. What happens though if nichnasim lebeisa star, if she went together with him into a secluded area, and she remained there for the time that it takes to do an act, is the din asura lebeisa asura lecha b'truma. Then she already, there's a doubt cast upon her, and she's not allowed to be with her anymore, and she's not allowed to eat truma. V'im meis, and if he died, so if he died, then there's a din of if he had no children. So when there's no children, so then the husband's brother has to either marry her or give her chalitza. So in Mace, and if he died, it's chaletzes v'loy mishabemes. In other words, the brother can't marry her, and he has to give her chalitza to release her from what they call the zika in the Gemara, from the connection that he has with her. So Gemara says, Michti, let's see. Tana means a solik. The Tana, the Masechta that goes before sotah, according to the order of the Gemaras, is Masechta Nozer. So my Tana, the Katana is sotah. What is the connection that sotah follows Masechta Nozer? So Gemara says, could the Rebbe like Rebbe? The Tanya, we learned the Rebbe said, Loman is Pashas Nozer, Pashas sotah. Why in the Chumash is in the same Pasha of Nosai? You have the Pasha of Nosai and the Pasha of sotah. Laimor, to tell you, Shekala Roy Sotah B'Kakula, whoever sees a sotah, that what goes through all the difficult parts of her life when she has to be tested, and we learned right in the Gemara there was a whole procedure how they would bring her and schlep her and take her around over there. So Yaza Atzman Ayayin, he should learn from this to stay away from wine. Because wine, people become intoxicated, they become drunk, and maybe when they become drunk, so a lot of things that you wouldn't do otherwise, you may do. In fact, the Gemara, if that's the case, the listening sotah, the listening nozer. If that's the case, first you should tell us sotah, and we know that sotah teaches you to be a nozer. A nozer is separates himself from wine. So Gemara says, I did the Tani Ksubas. Because in the Seder Noshim, there's the Gemara of Ksubas. V'tani Hamadir And in Masechtas Ksubas, there's a peda called Hamadir, where the husband makes Nedarim on his wife. So therefore, Tani Nedarim. Therefore, after Ksubas, being that we mentioned already the idea of a neder, so comes the Masechtas Nedarim that covers all the details of Nedarim. V'aydi the Tani Nedarim, and once it talks about Nedarim, Tani Nazar, because Nazar is also a neder. Each ki yader linzer, Nazar Nazar. The Dami Nedarim, it's similar to the idea of a neder. Therefore, Katani sotah k'derabbi. Therefore, it follows with sotah, because once the connection of sotah and nazar there is a connection between the two of them. Now, the Gemara says, and the Mishnah said hamakana. It started the Mishnah started with the word hamakana. So the Gemara said hamakana means if someone is makana. The Mishnah doesn't start like Kesed Hakino. How do you do kino? It says hamakana. If someone, so the Gemara says hamakana means if the evidence is mashma that really you shouldn't be makana your wife. But if someone is makana, then it depends if you did it with 2 eidas or you didn't do it with 2 eidas. So Gemara said Vibalda, which says the word makana if he was makana. So which seems like that's only b'di'evid. Kesava tana didan, our tana hos also kanas. That al pidin you shouldn't be makana the woman. Amar of Shmuel. So that's now the Gemara goes into a separate thing. Amar of Shmuel bar Rav Yitzchak. Shmuel Yitzchak said, "Kavi pasach ha'ishrok ish betuma b'saita amar hachi." When they used to start a Masechta, so the Rosh Yeshiva would give a Hakdama to the Masechta. The Hakdama was somewhat of a drushvot to the Masechta. So he says, Ki havi pasach Reish Lakish b'saita, when Reish Lakish would go in Masechta Saita, start the Gemara with the Talmidim, he say the following: Ein mizavkin le'adam isha elu fi ma'asav. That Shas, there's a shidduch made, and every shidduch is made in heaven. So every shidduch that's made in heaven is lefi ma'asav. In other words, according to what person you are, that's the type of a wife that you get. Shenem Hashem pasuk, ki loy yanuach shevet haresha agayil hatzadikim. In other words, they will not rest the tribe of the wicked on the tzaddikim. They don't get connected together.
Fortunes of tzaddikim.
So Gemara says, Rabbi Bogomilsky said, it's not an easy thing, and not an easy task to make a shidduch, but just like Kriyas Yamtov, because just like Shenema, Shenema steht in Pasuk, Kim Moshe of Yechidim Baisa, the Eibishter has Yechidim, the Chosan, and the man and the lady. They're like two individual people that are in different homes. And Moitzeh Asidim Bakasharis, and he takes, it goes on the Geula. He took the Yidden out in a good time. In other words, so the Gemara says, Aini, so you're saying that it's a very difficult thing, right? That's what you're saying. So Gemara says, Aini, that doesn't seem to be so. Because Omar Rav Yehuda Omar Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav, that Aboim Yom Kaidim Tzius Avlad, 40 days before the Vlad is formed, the Vlad isn't formed right away by conception, but 40 days before he's formed, so Basko Yaitzes Veimeres, there's a heavenly voice that makes an announcement, Bas Pliny Lepliny, Bayis Pliny Lepliny, and so the Pliny Lepliny. In other words, everything is already it's already all planned, it's all pre-planned. If it's pre-planned, so then why do you say it's a difficult thing? So Gemara says, like kasha, it's not a kasha. Hob zug rishain, Ha bezug sheni. It depends. So zug rishon, Pashut Yitai zug rishon means a person gets married the first time, and sometimes something happened, and he gets remarried a second time. So there's a difference between the first marriage and the second marriage. So Rashi says that zug rishon is according to the mazel that they announced, and zug sheni is ufi ma'asav. There's a Taisa, I don't want to go, we don't have time to go into Gomdas, but I first of all, in Svarim State, Zug Rishon, Zug Sheni doesn't mean a first marriage and a second marriage. That's not what it means. In Kabbalah Svarim State, that Zug Rishon means the first time this neshama came down to this world. And Zug Sheni means there's the neshamas keep coming down. They have to be mashlim things that they weren't mashlim. That's called Zug Sheni. So the Zug Rishon, if you go down all the way to when the Neshama Chadash came here, with this for Taisa Kasha here, but again, I'm not going to go into the Lamdas, but that's how the Forshim Taich. Al Pidrush I Taich that Zug Rishon and Zug Sheni doesn't mean first and second. Sometime to get to the Zug Rishon means the first one, and Zug Sheni means the second one. But sometimes to get to the real one, you have to go through, and that second one could be the real one. Okay, we'll go weiter. Now the Gemara says that Rabbi Eliezer, quoting the Mishnah, that Rabbi Eliezer said that Mekana lo apishnayim, that they have to warn in front of two edus, and Rabbi Shiur said, and he said also that the actual stira could be a fil apiatzmai, and then Rabbi Shiur said that both Mekana and Mashke have to be apishnayim. So Gemara says as follows: Adkan lepligi ela bekinu ustira. They only argue that kina ustira. Kina ustira means kina is the warning, and stira is if someone, if she went into a secluded area. But the Gemara Ava Batuma, what if there's an aid? If an aid that comes, one aid that comes, it says, I know that they did the act. They committed an act of adultery. So the Gemara says, Ava Batuma. Eid echad v'hemen. By Tumah, that if it's after Kinu, if there was Kinu and there was Stira, that is, according to the way Rabbi Eliezer says, or Rabbi Shiur said, if there came an Eid echad after that, and said that there was Tumah, that was, it didn't, that she's Tumah. But the non-Nami, Eid echad anida is shednit mas. If an Eidach said that I saw that she became Tameh, she doesn't have to drink anymore. The whole idea of the drinking is that if there was Kino and there was Stira, and B'meila says she suspected that she went into seclusion, she suspected that she may did something wrong, so therefore you use the Mayim HaMoradin to verify her status. But if there's an Eidach after that says that Nitmas, we believe him. In fact, the Gemara, Minola, Midaraisa, Minola, and the Mehemen Eidechot. How do we know? We always know it has to be in Apishtayim Eidim. We always know you're in two Eidim. So how do you know that an Eidechot is believed over here? She said, the Tana Rabbana, the Bana learn, there's a pasuk that says, by sotah, Ve'eid ein bo. So what does it mean? Pashut Ve'eid ein bo. Pashut means that there's no Eidus. So what do you mean if there's no Eidus, there's nothing? So what's the Torah telling you? So the Gemara says, Bishnayim akas medaber. When it says of the aid, a singular term, it means that there's no two Eidus. The aid ain't, but there's no two aid, there's only one aid, is then she's considered Tameh. So it says the Tanah Bana learned the second pasuk, the aid ain't bo, Bishnayim akas medaber. The Torah is talking about that there's no two Eidos. Practically, Gemara Eina Ela Filu Be'echad. Maybe it means that there isn't even one Eidos. Talmud Reimer steht in Pasuk, Lo Yokem Eid Echad Be'ish. That there shouldn't be an Eid Echad against, you need two Eidos. So the Mashma Shenema, Bival that it says in the Pasuk, Lo Yokem Eid Echad Be'ish, Eini Yedei Shu Echad. Why does that say Lo Yokem Eid Echad? Eid Echad is a redundancy. Eid means one, and Echad means one. So why is the guy say there shouldn't be an Eid Echad? So again, look at the top one. Mimashav Shenema. Since the pasuk says Lo Yokem Eid Echad Be'ish, Eini Yedei Shu Echad. My Talmud Echad. Why does it have to say Echad? This is a binyan av. Kol mokum shenema eid. Wherever the Torah says the word eid alone and doesn't say echad, harei kan shnayim means two. Ad sheyir f'dracha kasev till the Torah specifies it echad. Now, so when the pasuk said over here the eid ein bo, so we say v'omer achmona. What does it mean the eid ein bo? Trei bo. There's no two. El echad. V'hi in this pasuk. She wasn't forced. She did it with her own free will. The demos is asura. So we have from this pasuk v'eid ein bo, we see that if there's only one, one. It's like the Gemara of a timer. So how do you build? How do you build your whole raya? You build your whole raya the ksiv Lo Yokem Eid Echad Be'ish, because the pasuk of Eid Echad. So you know that there's a difference between Eid Echad and Eid alone. Eid Echad means one, and Eid means two. For the Gemara, Harav Hachi, if you didn't have this way to build it, Havamina you would think, Eid Sotah Chadu. It says if you didn't have a pasuk that shows you that when it says the Eid Ein Bo means that there's no two Eidos, right? So how would you touch the pasuk? The Eid Ein Bo, there isn't one Eid, right? So how can you say such a pshat? So why you can't, even if you didn't have the pasuk Lo Yokem Eid Echad Be'ish, to be megala that Eid over there means two, how would you touch otherwise? That there isn't one. So what's the Torah telling you? There isn't one, and Behila is Posha, she's telling. Doesn't make sense. So why do you need a raya from? So Gemara says, if he have to chad reka el b'may misra. So Gemara says, Itzrach, we still need this proof. Saka that chamina, I would think, Eid ein bo means ein eman bo. That I would say the Eid ein bo, that one Eid is not believed, but you have to have two. That's how I would teach it. Not that there isn't one Eid. The Eid ein bo, that one Eid doesn't help. You have to have two. So, fact the Gemara, the Eid ein bo, if the Torah is telling you that my boy, so what's the Torah telling? That one is not believed, you need two. I would say, for that I don't need to tell you that you have to two Eidos, that I don't need a whole, build this whole eye over here. The Asher Dava Mimaman. We know by Maman steht auf Pishnaim Eidim Yokem Dava, and over here steht also Lashon Dava. So we make a Gzeri Shavah that the Eidos always has to be two. But no Yadana, me did the Havi, I call Eid Yeshiva. So why do I need this whole Raya? If you want to touch with Eid Ein Bo, that one is not believed, you have two. So Gemara says, Sakadat the Chamina, the Torah has to tell you that one is not enough, but you need two. Why? Because I would think Sait is Shani, Sait is different than a Gayim Mudava. Sharekina law Vinistra. He already was, he went through the whole process with her already. So I would think l'shemen bo eid echad, that an eid echad should be believed. So the Torah tells you, no, that an eid echad is not believed. You have to have two. Could you say that the Torah is telling you that one is not believed? What does that mean? That if there's one, it's not, it's nothing, right? V'shaya and it's mutter. V'midiksiv in the pasuk it said v'eid ein state v'hilein is pasuk. V'hilein is pasuk means she wasn't forced. What does that mean to say? That mikal that surah, that she's also. I would say if the Torah is telling you you have to have two, and one is not believed. So why does the Torah say that she wasn't forced and she's also? It's a seed in the pasuk itself, according to what he's saying. So Gemara says it's still we need the raya from before from Oyaka Medecha Beish, Kosakada the Chamino Ein Nembo Ad the Ikatrei. I would say that one is not believed and there must be two. Ubetrei Nami he the line is pasuk, and by two also when it become Tomei, even if there's two edis, only if she wasn't forced. So comes along the pasuk, thanks to the limud, the binyan that we had before, we know that the aid means that one, that there's no two edis, there's only one, and if learn this pasuk, then she's Tomei. Okay, let's see the next piece of Gemara. Rabbi Shiur, and the Mishnah said that Rabbi Shiur said Makanu al Pishnayim. But the Gemara, my Tama, the Rabbi Shiur. What's the reason of Rabbi Shiur? But the Gemara, Amakra, the pasuk says, Bo. Shed ve'eid ein bo. Bo v'loi b'kinu. How do we touch ve'eid ein bo? That there's no two edis. So when the two edis by kinu and bo v'loi b'stira. Rabbi Lezer says, Rabbi Lezer holds that there's a difference between kinu and stira. So he holds bo v'loi b'kinu. Eid ein bo v'loi b'kinu, but by kinu you have to have two. In fact, the Gemara, why shouldn't we say bo v'loi b'stira? The same as Rabbi Shiur said. So the Gemara says, stira is kishatuma. Stira is already the same as tumah. And just like by tumah, one is enough. The same thing over here also, one is enough. Where do you see that kina is compared to tumah? The ksiva shet in pasuk v'nistra b'hinut more. So v'nistra it goes together. Stira and kina go together. In fact, the Gemara kina nami is kishatuma. Kina is also compared to tumah. The ksiva kina sishta v'hinut more. So Gemara says hamid achmana bo. So on one hand, I use the bo to tell us that you don't need two edis, and on one hand, you use it to tell us that one is believed because it's compared to tumah. Practically, my Ross, how do you decide? For kino, you need two edis, and for stira, you don't need two edis. My Ross, the Muslim Mustafa, it's logic dictates it. Stira adifa, stira is worse. Shekain aisrasa ketuma. Stira, it makes her already into a bad person. Practically, adar kino adav shekain ika garamlo. Kino is worse because it all started from the kino. So she should go use the comparison of kino to tumah instead of using the comparison of stira to tumah. So Gemara says, "Ilav stira kino meika." You're saying kino is really nothing. The main thing is the stira. In fact, the Gemara, the ilav kino stira mayahani. It goes back and forth.
Each one.
Stira if there's no kino, it could be stira from today to tomorrow. You must have kino. So you see that kino's worse. So stira adifa, stira is worse. The aschalta the tumahu, because that's the beginning. It all begins with that. Now the Gemara says, Masnisan the lake Haitan, our Mishnah, we have a third opinion. So our Mishnah is not according to this Tana. The Tana we learn that Yosef Yudaim Mishum Rabbi Lezer Rabbi Yosef said in the name of Rabbi Lezer, Hamakana li'ishtoi, he holds Makana al pi eid echad al pi atzma. You don't need eidus at all. For the start, you don't need eidus. Umashkula al pi shnayim, and making her drink, that you have to have 2 eidus. In other words, for stira you need 2 eidus, and for kina you don't need any eidus at all. That's different than the Mishnah. The Mishnah, everyone agreed that the kina you need 2 eidus. The question was if stira needs 2 eidus. And over here you have a different opinion entirely. So Gemara says, my Tama de Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda. What's the reason of Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda? So Gemara says, Amakra, the pasuk says, Bo. So we said, Ve'eid ain't Bo. So we said, Bo v'lei b'stira. He goes a different way. He said that Eid Echad is believed by Tumah, and not by stira. The aim of Bo v'loi b'kinu. It's the same question. Why do you exclude Tumah? So Gemara says, Bo v'loi b'kinu. Kinu iskis Tumah. The Ksiv Kinu says he needs more. In fact, the Gemara, the same question. Stira nami iskis Tumah. The Ksiv Nistar he needs more. She says, Ahu, that teaches you something else. And that is l'kama shir stira. How long do they have to be in seclusion? And you have to include it kedei tumah. So that's why you have the comparison of stira to tumah. But kinu is not compared to tumah. Remember, so kinu could be al pi atzmai, according to this opinion, while the others have to be with eidus. Fact the Gemara, Yeshiva Chacham with Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, Engel of a Seif. According to Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, it's the end of the world. Every time you don't even eidus even to start. If you have eidus to start, maybe so she knows to watch herself and everything. It's a different story. But over here, if it's a piatzman, so why? What's my engel of a Seif? My new. Because the Zimnan the Lekoniga, sometimes he never was Mekanaha. V'Omar Kanoi, and he said, I wonder. In fact, the Gemara, Hoga Mishnah Seinu Yesh L'Dav Seif. And according to our Gemara, our Mishnah, everything is in order. Zimnan the Yistata, V'Omar Yistata. If you said a stira, it could be a piatzman, so maybe it wasn't no stira really, and he says it. Omer Rabbi Yisrael Rabbi Yosef, Omer Rabbi Yechon, Afro Divrei Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda Engel of a Seif. That not only according to our Mishnah, but even according to it's also Engel of a Seif. In fact, the Gemara Adarabba, the Mishnah Seinu Ika. But according to our Mishnah, there's a Ika. In other words, the key has to be Shnayim. Abu Divrei Rabbi Yosef Yehuda, Afro Mishnah Seinu Engel of a Seif. It's saying that not just the Divrei Beis of Yehuda and to the Mishnah is also Engel Dover Seif, because one holds that that he can be, even if he wasn't Makana, he could say he was Makana, and one said that even if he wasn't wonder about stira, he could say I wonder about stira. So according to both, it's Engel Dover Seif. Let's just finish one little piece. Amar Rav Chanina Misuda. Rav Chanina Misuda said, a husband should be careful not to say to his wife, why? Because maybe we hold maybe it's like a Rabbi Yehuda. The Omar Kino al Piasman, Umistatro, and Veleka, or either may say to Lumivdaka. You'll be in trouble. Because also Alay Asura Daiva. Okay. Omer Shloka said, Maglash Kino. What does the word Kino mean? So the Dava Mato Kino Beinoi Ubeinachedim. Kino means like it causes like friction between her and other people. Alma Kasava Kino Piasman. So you see that Kino is a Piasman. The Kula Amala Yadi, the Kanila. And maybe no one knows about it. And for Amria and the people who say, Mother, Kama, the Kabadla, why is she staying away from us? So it'll cause friction between her and people. Rabbi Yema bar Shrama Mishmeida Bayama Dava Matakina Beinoi Lebeino, not between her and other people, but between the husband and the wife. Alma Kasava, so we see from here that Kasava he holds Kinu Apishnayim Edom. But Mela Bakul Alma Yodi the Kanila. No one will be angry at her. They know she has a crazy husband that warned her. And B'mela, the Iyahu the Oslam ever kinna Badar, so there'll be an anger between him and her. Why are you suspecting me? So that's it. The E that's between, causes anger between her and other people, or between her and her husband.
How can the